So this was actually a reel that I came across, and on the reel, you see what's going on. There's pigs eating crabs. There was, usually on the reel, you're going to go into some comments and see what people have said. The first comment I saw was a sister that said basically like, "Oh, we're not supposed to be eating that stuff anyway." And I'm paraphrasing what she said, okay? We're not supposed to be eating that stuff anyway. Then you had a brother come in and tell her, "You don't know the New Testament?" And she's like, "What?" He basically said, we can eat it. So he gave her a scripture to read. And she was like, "Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for that, for like basically enlightening me." Right. And a lot of times I see stuff like this, I just don't say nothing, because I teach and break down the Bible on a consistent basis. But I wanted to go into this because when I actually commented it and I told her that you don't want to just read that little piece. He gave her like two scriptures to read. I said, go to it was Mark, right? And he said Mark chapter 7 verses 18 and 19. I said, no, you want to read it in context. You want to get the whole thing. So start at verse 5. So he posted this in order to say, well, we can eat these things. Like it's cool. But these foods have always been considered unclean foods. Okay. Historically, a pig was used as a farm as a garbage disposal of a farm. The job of a pig is to eat refuge. A pig will eat even decaying flesh. A pig will, if there's a decaying carcass laying around, a pig will eat that. A pig will eat a piece of plastic. How I know that? Because I've been around pigs. I've seen them in action. I've seen them in action. Crabs, lobsters, oysters, all of that stuff that we as Black people think that is a delicacy, those are bottom feeders of the ocean. They clean the ocean. What do you think happens to what do you think happens to whales when they die and they float to the bottom of the ocean? Sharks, large fish. What do you think happens to them? They get eaten by parasitic creatures that are at the bottom. Some of those parasitic creatures are lobsters and crabs. And oysters are like a filter. There's a video, y'all could go look it up. There's an actual video where you have two tanks of water. One of the tanks of water is just a tank of water, and another is a tank with what you call it, what's those things called again? Oysters, clams. And over a process of time, the clams, over hours, the clams filter the water themselves, and the water starts to clear up. The water is dark brown. It starts to clear up to where it's clear, like clear. So they clean all of the toxins out of the ocean. And then they put this on in restaurants, they put this on a dinner table and call it a delicacy. These pigs eating these crabs, these crabs, you know what that is? That's nothing but a bottom feeder of the land eating a bottom feeder of the sea. Now they might price it up high for you, and Black folks, y'all love to eat that. What is those crab boils? I know y'all breath be stinking. Salaki, look, I ain't trying to be negative and nothing like that, but I'm just like, seafood, I know it's a tradition, especially in the South and Louisiana and all those places. I know it's a tradition to eat that stuff. It's a tradition, and when Black folks to eat pork. Pigs have something. I did a class on this. Pigs have in their hoof, because when we were kids at the liquor store in Southern California, at the liquor store, some of y'all probably noticed, you go to the liquor store, they would have pickled pig feet in a jar, and you buy it, and we just thought it was so good. Then this is years later. I'm an adult now, and I'm looking, and they say that pigs, because they don't have any sweat glands, and their bodies be full of toxins, they release the pus out the middle of their paws. pigs do. I talked about this. And not only that, when it comes to pigs or just, certain animals, clean animals are animals that are ruminants. Ruminants, like, animals that they chew the cud. Y'all probably don't know what I'm talking about right now, but they chew the cud, meaning they have about 3 stomachs. And so they eat the food, it goes into one stomach, it gets processed, it comes back out, it comes back up, and they chew it. That's why you see cows, they always chewing. Clean animals like lambs and cows and certain animals like that chew the cud, they process the food like continually. And so therefore anything they eat that is full of toxins would be eliminated, because that's why when you look at the way how they use manure, it has value, versus pig crap or pig feces has no value. So right here, what you're seeing is just pigs eating. This is somebody that understands this. And it's easy to get crabs if you go out in the ocean and you go, you got you a net and all of that to drop. It's easy to get it, and it's cheap in other places, just like all of these things. That's why pig is so cheap, because it's easy. It's an easy meat to manufacture and process, so it's cheap. The stuff that's good for you, they make it expensive. You know what I'm saying? The meat that's good for you expensive. Even when it comes to just trying to eat healthier, all of that stuff is more expensive. But there's a video with a brother actually showing you with the pigs, they feed them anything. The tilapia also, they feed the tilapia. The Asians feed their tilapia in their farms. They feed them pig feces. Now, when you go those manufacturing plants, there's a video with a brother where trash goes. They grind up the trash. They grind up trash into it's a powder. They take this powder and they feed it to the pigs. Back in the 1970s, pigs were like natural garbage disposals, or like refuse disposals for your land. You could give them anything and they will eat it. And so all of those things that we think is good, as far as a pig, that stuff get transferred to us. Black people is number one in all of the bad health problems: high blood pressure, heart disease, you name it, diabetes, all of the bad health problems that come from bad food, eating habits. Now, they won't tell you that you get bad health issues from certain seafood, because doctors can't tell you that. Doctors can't tell you that about pork. They can't tell you that, because that will then be cutting into the profits of these companies. If doctors start educating and telling people, well, you have this issue because the pork that you eat, you have this issue because of the seafood that you eat. And when I say seafood, I'm not talking about all seafood. I'm talking about the seafood that America says is a delicacy, when it's really just a roach of the sea, like shrimp. They're just roaches of the sea. In fact, shrimp have the same, they are a cousin to the cockroach. They have one of the same allergens that cockroaches have. Y'all, I bet y'all didn't know that. But y'all call it a delicacy. In our community, it's like, oh, I'm eating shrimp and lobster. Yeah, I'm eating real good. We're gonna be eating real good tonight. We got this crab boil. We got this going on. We got the pork chops. We got the chitlins. Like, so anyway, I wanted to educate the sister though. So the brother was trying to tell the sister that these foods are okay to eat. And I said, no, go and read from verse 5. Go read Mark chapter 7, verse 5. And what it's really talking about is that the Pharisees tried to challenge Christ and his disciples because they wasn't washing their hands before they started eating. So it was about washing hands before they started eating. And then he also expounded on the fact that it's not what you eat that makes you a bad person, that defiles you. It's what's in your heart. It's what's in your mind that makes you a bad person. Like the things that come out of you is what makes you a bad person. Not because you didn't wash your hands when you was preparing to eat a meal. But people was on there upset because of the knowledge that I dropped about the pig. You know what I mean? A lot of people was just, they did not agree, because a lot of our brothers and sisters, they love pork. I've had people, brothers and sisters, tell me, even after telling them, they say, well, I'm not giving up bacon. I'm not giving up pork chops. I'm not giving up, hog maws. I'm not giving up my chitlins. It's like pork is almost like crack in the Black community and the Mexican community, because they love pork too. Carnitas and all of that stuff. Chicharrones and all of that. Pork is like almost like crack when it comes to the Black community. It's like a hard addiction that we can't let go of. No matter how much it's messing us up, we're not going to let go of it.